everybody. Happy Saturday. I hope this is working. This is always so awkward. But just gonna pull up everybody's questions from Instagram. And I wanted to say hi, Lori. Hi, Ruth. Can you tell I just woke up? No. Yeah, so we're live on a Saturday morning. Ruby Sunshine, do you want to show everybody what you're doing right now? It's pretty amazing. This is Ruby. You've got a new little toy. Yeah, this is Ruby. Ruby, say hi. Hi, yeah. I know, you're so big. You're so big. Look at you walking around. Yeah, Ruby Sunshine. So I did the question thing on Instagram that everyone was doing, and and there were a lot of funny questions about Ruby. Someone was like, does she cry ever at night? And the answer is no, she does not really cry a lot. She's a very, very happy baby. She gets fussy sometimes and she likes to nurse a lot, but other than that, she's really happy, and we've been so lucky, and she's growing up so fast, and it's crazy. We're so in love, and I feel really lucky to have such an amazing baby. But just hi to everybody who's joining. I love you all. Thanks for doing this event with me. It's been a while, especially since we had Ruby and we went to Nepal. And where are we right now? We're in New York City. We're floating around. We're kind of in an in-between state. We are basically having some visa restrictions because Jeremy, my husband, is Canadian, and he was in the States on an O1 visa, which is like a work permit. And when we got married, we had to file for a marriage visa, or like a green card for marriage. And when you're in that process of applying from one visa for another, you're actually not allowed to leave America. It's an immigration rule. And Jeremy can't even go to Canada. It's just part of the immigration process. So we had to apply for a 1 month, which is all that's allowed, travel permission. It's actually called expedited parole. To leave the country, which we did. We could only have 30 days in Nepal, which was really hard for us. And unfortunately, immigration's really backed up at the moment. As you all know, there's a lot of issues. And so we were literally just waiting on a visa and enjoying our time with Ruby. She's still got some immunizations to finish, so it was just fine that it was only 30 days. It was hard for us and the kids, but we're kind of waiting for this visa pass to come through so that we can go back and bring Ruby back, and Jeremy can have the freedom to travel again, which is going to be really, really nice. So that's what we're doing. We're like kind of floating around from place to place. We're staying at friends' places. It's been okay. I think we counted that since we left our place in California that we've slept in like 20 different places. And we're living out of a suitcase, but that's okay. And we're just being happy where we are at the moment and checking in with the kids whenever we can. We all watch the World Cup together, even though it was in the middle of the night lots of times there. And that's been really, really fun. So it looks like we've got a lot of people on, which is awesome. I see Dee from the Netherlands and Govinda. Are you in Nepal? He's got a baby 23 days older than Ruby. And yeah, I kind of just wanted to give an update on what we're doing and our trip to Nepal and what's going on right now. And then I did the Instagram question thing, and everybody asked really good questions that I wanted to go over. So yeah, I'm going to pull those up and let's FaceTime chat. This is always a little bit awkward for me, so sorry. It's really interesting talking into a camera and not seeing anybody on the other side. Oh, hi from Spain. That's awesome. Spain, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Yeah, so let's talk about our trip back. It was out of this world, amazing. I was really emotional, obviously, and we stopped on the way there and picked up Nisha, my oldest, in the Netherlands, because she was studying abroad there at United World College. And so there was a lot of emotion involved in just picking her up and the ending of that chapter and then bringing her home. So we were all coming home together and just having Ruby. We were also traveling with a camera crew, which is always really interesting. We had a 3-month-old baby, a teenager moving out of her dorm room, and a camera crew. So we were quite the scene, which was really, really funny and hard. And then we landed in Surquette after a couple days of travel, and all of the kids surprised us. And there's an airport in Surquette now, which is absolutely crazy, and it runs a direct flight that's in our little town of Surquette. So that's really new and really amazing, and it saves this very long, windy drive that we would always have to do. So landing in Surquette was very surreal, and then just seeing all of the kids there was amazing. And Ruby had a tough flight, and we were just very overwhelmed with emotions. And interestingly enough, I didn't cry when I saw everybody. I just held everyone and was trying to get through this moment that felt really surreal, that just felt really, really surreal. And I'd been away for so long on maternity leave and had given birth in the States, and yeah, it was just a very emotional journey, and I was all over the place. But we got there and things were great, and the kids ran over to school right when we got home, and we unpacked, and it was like Ruby had always belonged, and we had always belonged, and it was the same as it had always been, and it was incredible. It was just the best trip ever, and it went by really quick, and I was just checking in with all of our team and the caregivers, and the very first day, obviously the first thing I wanted to do is go over to the new school and the new construction site, the new campus where everything was going down. And so right away, we drove over. The new campus is located about, a 1.5 miles, 2 kilometers from the current site where our home and school is. So it's a little bit of a drive, and you get up there, and it's on sort of like a mountainside that overlooks the valley, so it's beautiful. And I walked onto the campus through the front gate, and I just burst out in tears. And that was when everything really hit me. And the school was just up, it was in full life force. There were 80 to 100 workers. The electric was going in, the solar was going on that day, things were being painted, floors were being polished, someone was digging, the landscaping walls were going in, and I just was hit with this very overwhelming feeling that the dream was coming alive and true, and it had been so much work and so much planning, and so to see it firsthand, and especially after having been away, and realize that everything's coming together is just amazing. And so the campus itself is incredible, and my favorite features are the solar. So every rooftop has a huge solar unit, and it's filled with these solar panels, and it basically generates all the energy and that the fans, the projectors, the plugs in the wall need to run the school. So we're all really proud of that, and we partnered up with an organization called Sun Farmer to help us design and install this incredible system. We have one at the home that we really love, and then there's a 300,000 liter underground rainwater harvest tank, and it's basically separates out the black water, the gray water, the drinking water, the rainwater, the hand washing water into all of these different systems, and we're able to collect 1 month's worth of monsoon rain to sustain the campus for the entire school year. So we're completely energy self-dependent. We're completely water self-dependent. The water exits through a reed bed system, so it gets cleaned and put back into the natural sort of spring that runs through the back of the campus, perfectly clean and pristine. And we have a biogas tank that all of the food that we cook for 500 people every day is cooked with our own waste, and with a beautiful solar cooker that hasn't gone on yet because it's part of phase 2, but it will go on soon. And it's just it was just magic. That school has been such a dream, and the scope changed so much as we went through it. And the earthquake happened and the blockade happened, and people from Nepal and our team really came together to make it come alive. So it's magical. We're looking for finishing up this project this year, or this coming year, during November, December, and for a grand opening in February, which is going to be really, really, really cool. So yeah, that's the campus. I want to thank Andy and Luke and Chris and Jamie, our team, and also our contractors and our subcontractors and the construction workers and the partners and and everyone who's come together to make the dream alive. I was really glad that I got to see it in that stage as well. So the trip was great. The kids and Ruby meeting was like, there are some things in life that you can't even really dream up until they happen. And seeing them all just love her and embrace her. They had been shocked when I told them I was pregnant, so I didn't know how the reaction was going to be bringing Ruby there. But she was just one of the family, and there was just so much, just more love. Just like when any child comes into our home, they're welcomed with love, and she was too. She was no exception to that. And there's something special about having babies and teenagers in the house, and this trip was particularly special because 7 of the older kids had just transitioned out into independent housing, and I hadn't really seen them since they'd moved into their apartments. So we had dinner parties, and we went over to their house for dinner and tea, and just really talked and caught up. And I think as a mother, you often say that you're just questioning everything that you're doing all the time. And on this trip, I think it was the first time, I don't know, you often get these little glimpses that, oh my gosh, I'm doing okay as a mom, I'm doing okay. But this trip, I could see that so many of them were so grown up, and I was so proud of who they were as people. They're just kind, and they love each other, and they're close with each other, and that was really, really good to see and to feel. And I don't know, I think you always need that validation. And it was perfect. We were hosting a big soccer tournament at the new community playground, so there were like 30 soccer teams every day, and there was cheering and there was games to watch, and I don't know, the trip just went by so quick, and it was so much fun, and it just felt like dreams were coming true. It was a trip that was really healing, and that felt like, wow, look at this all coming together, from the campus to the playground to our school to our leadership team, who had really stepped up and been there for me and for the kids while I was away. I think as a leader, it's probably the greatest thing that you can see and feel within your organization. And just to see the people come together in, you know, emergencies that come up, in crises and good times, in moments where the kids need them. And yeah, those are the teachers, and Milan, who the kids call also Milan Mom, who takes care of them in every single capacity every day at school, and Naim, our principal, and Topchi, my co-director, and chairman of my board, and Cal and Anjali and the fellows and the directors, and yeah, a lot of people, the aunties and the uncles who really make the dream work every day. So that was, I don't know, that was just incredible. And with that, I'm going to break and let you see Ruby and Jeremy. Here they are. Yay! So I was looking at, there's Jeremy. I was looking at all the questions on Instagram, because there's that feature, Ask Me Anything, and the first question was, why is your husband so hot? And Jeremy asked that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was really funny. So what else? A lot of questions about Ruby and how we came up with the name, and about her birth and all of that, and how it's been. There were a lot of questions about how you manage a big organization and a nonprofit, and you know, the balance, I think, that as mothers we're all striving for. So I can talk a little bit about that. The name Ruby, it actually hit me for the first time. I had a really long birth. It was multiple days, and I was really pushing for that natural birth, but I ended in a C-section. And I was on the operating table just trying not to think about the fact that they were going to cut me open. And I had a very strong sense that she was a girl for some reason. I don't know why. It was just a strong feeling that I had. We didn't find out the gender, which is crazy, because at times it feels like there's a stranger growing inside of you. And you don't know who they are, and you can't really picture who this alien is that's just kicking at your rib cage and making your whole body change shape. But on the operating table, I was like, if it's a girl, I want to name her Ruby. And I wanted a name that was both Nepali and English. And that's a pretty hard feat to come up with. But Ruby is that. Ruby is a sacred Hindu stone that represents love. And Ruby is just an easy name that I thought could go very well international in both Nepal and in here. And she came out, and she was a girl, and we kind of sat with that name for about 5 days. Ruby was in the NICU. So that was really intense, and we were just holding her and hoping that she was going to be okay because she had an infection, and I don't know, I think we were just really grateful for the good care that we received, and that she was okay, and we bonded with her, and it's amazing giving birth. And yeah, so Ruby is for Ruby. It's just a name that we liked. It's not a family name or anything. It's just something that we thought was beautiful and could cross over to both Nepal and English. And Sunshine is after Ravi, because Ravi's name meant sunlight and sunshine. And we went with Jeremy's last name, which is just fine. That was really, really good. And yeah, it's been awesome. And the balance of having a baby and working full time and emerging into work, for those of you who think that I do it seamlessly, it's just not true. It's so hard. It's so hard. It's very, very hard. And I feel like the Instagrammers just see us having fun and, you know, traveling to all kinds of cool places and laughing, but there are moments, and most of my days are spent running to meetings and schlepping baby stuff around, and really balancing it. There's a lot of pieces to running a nonprofit, and especially transitioning after you've been on maternity leave and given birth, and we're just figuring it out and entering slowly, and I depend a lot on the team, and yeah, I just put my hours in all the time when I can, late at night, early morning. Jeremy and I have a schedule where, you know, we just basically are trading on and off, and it's been just fine. We're getting there, and we're getting there because we have so much help from really all of you. So thank you so much for that. Oh, my little guy's on. My 20-year-old. He's not so little anymore. Hi, Arun. So yeah, I'm looking at the other questions. How can people help? And people want to know so let's talk about roots first. So roots is, well, you all know that copula means a bud, and we call our children the little copulas because they are buds and little buds that were just waiting to bloom and blossom with everything that they need. So we call them the copulas, and we call our monthly supporters our roots, because they are giving all of the things that we need to run our programs for our kids and help them bloom. So I want to thank there are 270 roots givers, and these roots folks can give anywhere from like $5 a month to $10 a month to $20 a month. There are young people doing this, there are schools doing this, and that's the money that we have just to like know what we're gonna be able to count on to keep things going. So really big shout out to the roots that we just launched this year, and to everyone who signed up for that. It's incredible, and it's people just giving up that 1 or 2 coffees that they get at Starbucks a week and saying that they're gonna donate it to the kids. And I just want to tell you what a difference it makes for us that we can count on that, and that you're doing that for us because it's a sacrifice, and we really appreciate it. So roots, if that's something that you can do, whether you're young or old, there are kids who babysit and donate their babysitting money. I met a young girl yesterday who did a lemonade stand for us. I met a young girl yesterday who donated her bat mitzvah to us. Like, it's everything. It's everything that helps us do exactly what we do. So thank you to the babysitters out there. Thank you to the lemonade stands. Thank you to the kids who make bracelets. Thank you to the roots givers. Shout out to the millennials who, you know, put that $10 in every month. It's what enables us to do the work that we do, whether it's buying pencils or food or being able to launch our safe house and get uniforms. It enables us to really see what our needs are, assess them, and be able to do the work that we do and meet our budget. So big shout out to the roots. Big shout out to the people who are helping us build our school. We still have a little ways to go, so if you're interested in getting involved, we'd love to hear from you. Definitely check out the campus. It's beautiful. And there have been a lot of folks that have been helping keep that dream alive. So I want to thank everybody for that. And just thank everybody for your personal support of me and Ruby and our family. We love you all. And there she is. Yeah, Ruby's saying thank you. Yeah, we love everybody. We do. She's smiling. We love everybody. So that's about roots and the campus. And can I say all of my children's names was a question? Of course I can. Of course I can. We do keep some of their names and personal details private, and that's a choice that we make. A lot of people ask about volunteering, and we have very specific requirements for volunteers and very specific positions that we open up for. But I just want to remind everybody that we do work with children and that we're a Nepali-based organization. So for every position out there, our first and foremost choice is to hire a local Nepali who can do the work, and that's what we're trying to do within our community, and bring on Nepalis, force the local workforce of amazing people. So a lot of times we are not accepting volunteers, and it's just because we're saying yes to a young graduate who's graduating with a teaching degree out of the local university, and we want to give those opportunities to them. So please don't take it personally. It's the vision that we all had when we started BlinkNow, which was an organization run for and by Nepali people. And there are opportunities that come up, like for Desai Camp, which is when Nepal is celebrating Desai, their biggest festival, and our Nepali staff goes on leave, and that's a time when we ask for counselors, and we run a summer camp for the kids. So look for those opportunities, look to get involved there. Occasionally summer things come up. And occasionally we need something really specialized, like a social worker or a nurse or a partnership with dentists. We have one of those with NYU dentists. But we are very specific about what those needs are. And yeah, shout out to all the Desai Camp volunteers out there. We love you all, and we've met our greatest friends and supporters through Desai Camp. But I just want to explain to the folks that, have wanted to volunteer and haven't gotten the chance. Stay patient. You can sign up for our volunteer list. When things come up, we give shout outs, or when we know that other organizations are looking for positions, we shoot those around. I'm trying to look up your other questions. How did you do something at such a young age? Oh, just complete, luck and hard work. And my sister Kate often reminds me that I can't keep calling myself like a young she's like, social entrepreneur. You're like, you're 30. She's like, you're 30 now. But yeah, thanks for that question. When is the movie Love Letters coming out? Jeremy is still filming. Jeremy's filming with his team up until, the school opens, and then it'll go into editing, and some really cool things have come up with Love Letters and the documentary. People think I'm filming all the time, but they're very selective about what they film and how they follow around, and the film crew is just awesome. They've become our really dear friends, and that's been great. Do you want to say anything about Love Letters, Jeremy?
No, just thank you everyone who supported it in the Kickstarter and helped us get it out. I'm sorry that it's taking longer than expected. We hope we will have filming all done by March or April, and we're editing as we go. We have someone right now up in Canada editing, and then we're going to spend a month in LA editing in August as well. So it's come together, and it's really beautiful, and it drives me crazy that we can't share anything short. It feels like this little secret we've been working on for years, so I can't wait to show you guys.
Yeah, me too. I can't wait to see it. Do you still attend Operation Smile ISLC? I do. I haven't been to one in a little while, but our kids were invited to attend the Operation Smile Summit last year, and sadly did not get the visa. But we definitely try to stay connected with our ISLC Operation Smile fans and friends. There are so many of you, and big love to Operation Smile, who does cleft palate surgeries throughout the world. They're amazing. We love them. Let's see. When are you next going to Nepal? We are just waiting on this visa situation, and then we'll be right over. It's looking like September is the timeline. And if we don't get the visa by September, we're going to reevaluate our situation and figure something out. But we'll be there soon, just in time for monsoon to be over, hopefully, and Ruby's vaccinations to be complete. That's really exciting. That's a lot of questions about that. What would your first 3 steps be in starting a new not-for-profit? My first 3 steps. Number 1, I would read everything you can get your hands on in the whole world on nonprofit development. Just be educated. Number 2, know all of the other organizations out there doing the work that you're doing, develop partners, find other people in the field who have learned lessons that they've learned just from being in the field, and find other people tackling similar issues, because there's so many people out there and there's really good space for collaboration. Number 3, build a team around you. Have a really good board. Have the experts that, people you can lean on when you don't know the answers. That's exactly what I have and what we have, and boards are everything. My co-director, my co-founder, just make it a team collaborative effort, because we all have our blind spots, and we all have, different talents. So there are times that you're going to need a lawyer and an attorney. There are times that you're going to need a social worker. There are times that you're going to need people who have done similar things. And so that's my advice to the other people out there. And if you want special advice or support, I always try to get on and help people trying to start organizations or doing things that are similar. Let's see. Can you share the process? I'm just looking up other questions. My sister asked something funny. So our plans are to go back to Nepal. The school is due to finish up towards the end of the year. We're going to have a grand opening in February and start migrating the rest of the kids over. There are currently the middle school kids there, and they're doing really, really well. And we're really, really proud of the new campus. I'm trying to think of anything else. When is the book coming out? I'm still writing. But it's a long process, and I'm working with an amazing co-collaborator right now. Her name is Emily Black-Rapp, and she's written 2 memoirs and collaborated on other books, and it's a really, really good partnership. And her advice was just to write in the now, because there's so much happening now. So that's how my writing's going. I haven't done much lately, just because BlinkNow is keeping me busy, and having a baby's keeping me busy, like we talked about. But yeah, that's what's happening there. And I miss you all too. I miss you all so much. I miss my kids. And I just want to say again how grateful I am for all of your support and your love. And when we post a need on social media or our website, just how often that you're there for us to answer those needs. I feel like the luckiest person ever sometimes. So thank you for that. And thank you for everything. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think so, right, Jeremy? I hope we answered everything. But yeah, keep following along on the journey. We're trying to keep social media content up there and ready for you. The BlinkNow Instagram's amazing, and we're trying to share it on Facebook, and you can literally see the kids brushing their teeth or working on a special lesson. Last week they were rice planting, so they were in the mud just getting their hands dirty, planting up fields of rice to be harvested, and that was really, really cool. You can see just about everything happening over there, all of the action, so definitely follow along. Their story is much more interesting than ours, because my work is usually at the computer and on conference calls on the phone. So follow that BlinkNow Instagram until I can take over again when I'm back. And yeah, this is a very, very exciting time, so thank you. And be in touch if you have other ideas of how you want to get involved. Next weekend is the Try for Coppola, so we've been training. Jeremy bikes like 40 miles a day, And
40 kilometers.
40 kilometers. I forgot he's Canadian. And I've been running and doing workout classes, and we've got a team of 30 people competing next weekend. So if you want to support Try for Coppola, this year our fundraising efforts are going to desks and chairs and chalkboards and bookshelves and overhead projectors and everything we need to outfit our new edition of classrooms on the new beautiful Rammed Earth campus. So that's really exciting. Let us know if you want to get involved and think about racing next year. The Sprint Triathlon is super short. It's a 5K run, a 12-mile bike, and a 500-meter run, and it's doable. A 500-meter swim, and it's really doable. You can train for it in a few months, and it's very individualized, so you just try to do your own thing and beat your time from the year before, or you can walk if you want to, like I did last year when I was pregnant.
You get to hang out with us.
And you get to hang out with us and our amazing team led by Olivia. It's just one of my favorite days of the year. So that's Try for Coppola. Last year we raised enough money to build the community playground where the soccer tournaments are happening and kids are playing every day. So yeah, that's our days right now. They're mostly consumed with getting ready for this triathlon next weekend. That's what we're going to be doing. And join our team next year if you can. I think that's it. Sending lots of love to everybody. Bye from Ruby Sunshine and Jeremy. Say bye.
You want to hold your spoon for them?
Yeah, hold your spoon.
Wow.
Bye-bye.